been here, lived here 25 years, had the land for 30 years, and so we've done a lot, and I just really enjoy seeing the fruits of the effort, really. I find it very relaxing, actually. I enjoy it. I spend a lot of time in it, a lot more time than people might think. I spend most of my free time in the garden, and I just find it very contemplative, very relaxing. We'd been looking for a site for some years, and we wanted a bit of bush or vegetation, ideally bush, but any vegetation that had a sense of maturity. We wanted water, and we wanted privacy. And I spent about 2 years just clearing the site. We had a digger come in for a couple of days and dig the pond. And that was all done with me on site because we wanted to save trees and cut to fill rather than have to cart material away. And the shaping of it, I wanted to get it the way I felt the house would sit best, literally on the pond. I always wanted to do that. So it was a case of not having a plan. It was a plan in my mind, but it evolved as we developed the section. There was no hard drawn plan, it was in my mind's eye. In creating the pond, I didn't want to lose any of the pukatea. So the islands were influenced a little bit by where the trees were. And we retained all those, and we extended the area around them in some cases without just, covering the roots, so that we could create more accessible islands. So there's 3 islands in the pond. The pond is totally connected, and there's 3 islands, 2 of which are accessible by bridge, and you can walk right across. And there's 1 island which you can only get to with waders or by boat. I have a dinghy, not a boat. In fact, when I weed around, and tend the edges of the pond, I don't do it from the land, I do it from the water. I have a little dinghy, and I put my waders on, my water's up to about my chest, and I weed standing up. The thing I do enjoy, and I do it every day, several times a day, is to walk around the pond, because there are so many vantage points, depending on the time of day, time of year, where you get different views. I guess one of my favourite locations is on the other side of the pond, looking back towards the house, with the backdrop of the Koikoe and Karaka and Tawa, which form the backdrop to the house. And the other area is the deck, where you are on the deck and you're looking across the pond. Yeah, we have a few sculptures. We have a Jeff Thompson, which is that corrugated iron sculpture of a tree, and that's probably one of my favourite. The other is a very colourful one. There's 5 cylindrical poles with marbles and ceramic tile and all sorts of colourful things on it. That's a Jeff Dixon, and that was commissioned by Boffa when I sort of stepped aside as chairman and managing director. And there's Terry Stringer, and there's another one which was commissioned, was Darryl Frost from Nelson, and it's called Forest Flowers, and it's these about 7 spires. It looks very Lord of the Rings. It's got the mature feeling I was hoping I'd live to enjoy. But no, it hasn't finished. In fact, COVID, confined me to the house for a couple of months. So it's just undergone a COVID makeover. Now you get a lot more views, and it's more spatially, it's more interesting. You can see through things. It's finished, but it's not complete.